listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in every week on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at creativemediamonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler. What's happening, Chad?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
Good. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa and whatever else you guys
Happy
celebrate.
Festivus.
Yeah, happy
Festivus for the rest of us.
The Festivus for the rest of us, man. Everything, man. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Enjoyed your time with your loved ones. However you celebrate, man. It's what's most important is family, right?
That's it.
That's it, man.
Yeah, you have a good time?
Yeah, man. We had a good time. We got together at my aunt's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys eat?
Oh yeah.
What was the highlight? What was the main dish that you enjoyed?
Well, I don't even think I got to eat everything. There was ceviche, a little ceviche. There was pozole,
Ooh.
enchiladas.
With the pig's feet or with the chicken?
It was no. I don't think it had pig's feet. It was pork though. It's pork, but
Yeah.
I don't think there was pig's feet in there.
Okay.
Let's see. Ribs. My uncle made ribs.
Dang.
Yo, dude, come on. There's tons of food, man. I can't even think of there was tons of other stuff. Yeah. But it was delicious, man. I mean, got together, we ate, we had a good time, listened to music.
Yeah.
There was some drinks,
Yeah.
splish splashing around.
I had a little bourbon myself.
Yeah.
Little gentleman's jack.
Well, you know how we do, man. Whenever there's a big family gathering, somebody busts out at least a couple bottles of tequila. So
Yeah.
it's shots time.
What do you guys drink over there? What kind of tequila?
Well, my brother had actually taken a big bottle of Milagro.
Okay, that's good
Which
stuff.
Is all right.
For the
it's
price.
all right. Yeah,
for the price,
it's
solid.
decent. It's
solid.
decent.
Yeah.
But then my cousin, he was like, we can't be drinking that. And he busted out 1942 Don Julio. So we were sipping on that. Right? That's that sipper. That's that sipper right there, right? So we're sipping on that, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You know, of course the brewskis and like I said, people were dancing. It was a good time, man.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We played the White Elephant game. I don't know if you get down on some White Elephant game, but
We don't do that.
we like to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of gag gifts involved in that,
Right.
and we just have a good ass time making fun of everybody.
Right. My sister-in-law is the white elephant in the family. Shout out. Yeah, just want to remind the folks to follow us on IG, the Pillaging Podcast. Check us out on Twitter, Pillage Just for Fun. That's Pillage Just the number 4 Fun. And of course, go by and like our Facebook page. Be the 14th person to like the Facebook page. That would be great.
Okay, come on, man. Give us some help over here.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great following. It's just I don't know, man. It's Facebook's like for relatives and stuff now, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you spoke to the kids on the street,
Yeah.
they'd be like, Facebook?
Yeah.
No.
My dad's on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do that. It's my pops and my grandparents are on Facebook.
Well, all you dads out there, you need to make sure you like us on Facebook. All you dads, all you uncles, all you cool aunts, all the cool aunts out there. There's a cool Raider fan aunt in someone's family.
I got a bunch of them, bro.
Yeah.
I'll try to get them to come over.
My friends won't even like the damn page, but a lot of my friends on there are Niner fans, which is why I don't go on Facebook.
There you go.
But hey, kudos to the Niners, man. It looks like you guys are getting your thing together. We'll see you guys in the regular season next year at Levi Stadium. Did you see the shots of the game today? There's a bowl game over there at Levi.
No.
There's I think all 14 people that liked our page are the only ones that showed up to that game. It's hot over there. The sun on that side of the stadium.
It's a little hot over there, man. That's what I hear.
So we got a good show lined up for you today. We got Kane coming in hot a little bit later. We got a couple callers already in queue. And we'll be having Mario Tovar on from Raider Ramble, RaiderRamble.com. Make sure you check them out. They're a good Raider site. They're upstart site, much like we are. A lot of content, though. They got a good team over there, big team of writers. As far as writers on my site, there's me, and sometimes there's a couple other people. Every everyone that contributes.
We don't have quite the sizable staff that other people do.
When I say upstart, it means if I get up and decide to start to do something. But seriously, though, the people that do contribute over at Pillaging just for fun, great articles when they come through. I really would like to see more out of you guys. Tuck 303. We had another guy last year that was writing, and I don't want to say his name right now because I know he's going through some stuff right now, so I want to put him on blast. And he's got a good reason for not writing. But I know some of y'all in the comment section, you got some long posts, you got some strong opinions. Put that thing in an email and send it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And if you're listening, you're not on the blog. Again, fan submitted articles. So if you got something to say, just shoot it to me. You know, I don't really care. I'll doctor it up for you. That's what we're about. We're about Raider fans over on our site.
Ain't no right or wrong, man.
No,
everyone's open. Is free to their own opinion, man. No. So don't feel like someone's gonna be like, oh, you. That's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
You spark up some conversation.
That's it.
Some people are gonna like it. Some people ain't. Don't matter.
It's a hot takes.
Hot take.
As we go into the offseason too, I got a few of the guys on there that we want to bring back on the air. 303 Raiders, always hot to get on air. He's a good talk. I feel bad last time he called in. We were pretty lit. I don't know if you even remember that, Che. But I would like to have him back on. He's good on air. We got JFB who called in this week. He's good on air. Definitely got to get Gent on different time zones, so I got to give him a heads up. But we got some guys coming in. We want to get Raider Forever on here. And a few other dudes. We got to get 666 back on here. He was good as a fill-in guest. We need to get him back on in a segment. So the offseason is gonna be a little bit different. We're quickly approaching that. Some say that we're already in it. Some would say. But again, shout out to Raider Ramble. They approached me this week, asked me if I would be willing to contribute some content over there. Sent over some samples. It was all good. So I got an article up there. It's called 1 Step Forward, 2 Steps Backward. Right now, I think it's a featured post, which means it's just the last post submitted. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. But if you go to RaiderRamble.com, you can read that. Leave a message on there. Let me know how I'm doing. Good, the bad. I can take it all. And it's cool for putting me on it. And hopefully it pushes me to write more from my own site. Because mostly I just do the podcast. And it's time consuming, so I kind of leave it at that. But I enjoy writing. And, I have time. I say I don't have time, but I play a lot of Madden, dog. And lately, I say the last month or so, I've jumped into Madden 18. I had to rewrite history. I was like, so this can't be.
This isn't happening.
Yeah. So, but shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the pillagers for holding us down every single week and, giving me something to do. Jump back in the comment section every day. And I learned a lot in there, man. I get corrected a lot in there. People hold me accountable in there. And that's what I like about it because I have no idea what I'm doing. So we're just doing it. We're just doing our best. But yeah, man, you ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
This is a throwback, quick hit. NFL no longer allowing index cards. So apparently we're switching to construction paper and felt craft sheets.
Parchment paper,
protractors, and the like, but no more index cards. So it was a baloney call.
Yeah,
right. It was baloney. Yeah. But you and I talked about this, and what did we say?
Well, I told you right away. That didn't matter, man. That's not what ended the game for us. We had a opportunity to win that game.
Yeah.
So for us to sit here and say that we got robbed, no, nobody robbed us of the opportunity to win that game.
Yeah.
That fumble and the bad plays that we made down the stretch.
Yeah.
That's what beat us. So I know some people were in their feelings about it. Mm-hmm. And I know, like you said in the past, Raider fans we're always up for a good conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
But I really didn't. I wasn't really buying into that.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
The smirk bowl.
Yeah. I was like, nah. No, we didn't get robbed, man.
Nah.
If we got robbed, it was robbed by ourselves. We got robbed by ourselves, man.
You got to put yourself in a position where you don't have to rely on officials to make good or bad calls. Because you know what? It's the NFL. They're going to make bad calls. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
And this is what I always say. And I mean, in any sport that I've ever played with, be it rec league basketball, be it high school football, whatever, you can't count on the refs to make the calls that you want. You can't count on that. You can't expect it to go your way 100% of the time. You got to expect that they're not going to give you the calls. You got to expect that they're not going to take your side or see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared to play through that. And we weren't.
I don't want to dwell on this because, again, this is old news, but last play of the game, Derek Carr fumbles out the back of the end zone. Some people want to change the rule. I think the rule's fine. I think if you fumble out into your end zone, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It should be should be a stiff penalty. Should not want to do that. There should be no safety net there. You should not get a second chance there. I know it hurt us, and I know a lot of people probably throwing their phones out the car window again. I owe a lot of people a lot of
Damn
phones.
you. Damn you. Pillaging podcast.
But some people said you want your quarterback to go for it, and I don't necessarily completely disagree with that. And I know Derek Carr wanted that bad. I know in that one play he was trying to make up for a whole lot of bad that
All season. Yeah.
all season.
Yeah, he was trying to make up for the season with that play. So I could completely understand it. Yeah. It's just shit luck, man. It's just shit luck.
That's what it is. But I still say that on if it's a fourth down, you try to score that ball. Yeah. But given the circumstances, with a clear mind, and I know this all happens at 1,000,000 miles per hour when you're out there on the field.
Definitely.
You get out of bounds, you have the first down, you give your offense 4 chances to score a touchdown right there.
Yep.
And after the game, he didn't even mention the touchdown. He said, he mentioned kicking a field goal. And what would that be, like tying the game right there, right? Mm-hmm. I don't like that mentality right there. It even contradicts what they're going for right there. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, I think that he's just thinking from the perspective of what the critics were gonna say.
Yeah,
like, dude, all you had to do was go down right there, run out of bounds, and you would have at least had a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, at the very least.
Or I don't know, what were we down? What were we down by at that point?
I don't remember right
now. I don't
remember.
Just
what blocked that out of my mind right there.
I know.
Was it 13-10 or something like that?
I want to say so. But
I don't know.
But yeah, I think that's where his mindset was. He realized the moment that ball went out of the end zone that everybody was gonna be saying the same thing. Like, you blew it.
Right.
You could have done something else and you blew it. You know. So I think that's where his mindset was. I don't think that that's necessarily the way he thinks.
Well, it's 2017. 2017.
Okay. Yeah. So we were down by 3.
So those of you that like Derek Carr going forward, good. Continue to like that. I mean, that's the kind of Derek Carr that we know, the guy that goes for it. That was this team last year. Hindsight's 2020, so you can criticize me if you want. I'll take it. I know my take isn't 100%. I know, again, hindsight is 2020. That's what you would do. But put myself down there on the field with the ball in the hand, rushing for daylight, trying to score that ball. That's what players do. So I see both sides of the argument, but I really would have loved to live to see another down right there.
Right.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the smart play. The gutsy play is what he did. It's really a matter of opinion and which one you want. In that circumstance, I'm just trying to win a ball game, again, contradicting myself, that's what Derek Carr was trying to do too. So take it or leave it. In the game this weekend, Sunday, the Monday night game against Philadelphia, another bad spot. And I'm looking at a picture of it right now. So if you lean in really close to your radio, you can see this picture too. Because we're coming at you
in 3D.
In 3D, in stereo, quadraphonic sound, and in full color. But they're showing, so there's the official spot line, and then there's the first down line. It's the 4th and 1 play that the Eagles convert by a half yard. And you look at where the center has the ball, and he's moved the ball up pre-hike a half yard.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that in game as it was happening. And I was like, that motherfucker just moved the ball forward.
So, these things continue to happen for us. And again, nobody was really harping on that. Levi Damien pulled that out, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. So, again, you got to play through that. You got to rise to the occasion. Last year, we led the league in penalties, I believe, and look how we finished. So you can't blame it on yellow flags and bad calls. You just blame yourself. I think the one team that's consistently beat the Raiders this year is the Raiders.
That's it, man. That's it. That's been the story of our season. That's what I said. That's what I said to you, right? I mean, that fumble through the end zone against the Cowboys was basically our whole season summed up into one play.
Yeah.
That's what it's been like this season, man. It's been like we have a chance. We're doing something. It looks like we're finally getting something positive going, and then it just goes to shit. Yeah. That pretty much summed it up for us.
Yeah.
You know? And the Eagles game was a little bit more of the same.
Got some info here from a man, Austin Gale, on Twitter. He's a Pro Football Focus dude, focuses on the Raiders. PFF scores, take them or leave them, but they are a measuring stick. I was just telling you off air. It's just one of those ingredients you throw into the soup pot. It's not the truth. It's not the end-all, be-all. But it's a little something to gauge. And looking at this, Raiders cornerback Sean Smith played 40 coverage snaps against Philadelphia and was not targeted once. He now ranks 14th in yards allowed per coverage snap and 7th in passer rating allowed, which is a 29.8 among the 103 cornerbacks with 38-plus coverage snaps in the last 3 weeks. So Sean Smith is doing it and doing it well in the Pagano era of the Oakland Raider defense. Since Pagano has taken over in Week 12, Raiders Sean Smith ranks 8th in passer rating at 36.3 among cornerbacks with 110-plus coverage snaps in Weeks 12 through 16. Smith ranked 109th in passer rating allowed in Weeks 1 through 11. That rating was a 120.8. Coaching matters. Scheme matters.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Along those lines, Danico Autry ranks 11th in NFL in total pressures, 27, and tied 13th in pass rush productivity, 6.7, among 3-4 defensive ends with at least 131 pass rush snaps this season. My man, our guy, Danico Big Hands, Big Country Hands, Autry. Country strong, Autry.
Country hands.
as Reggie Mack would say. So I like Danico. We're probably going to end up talking about him in the second segment as one of the rising stars on this squad. And who knows, man? He's up for his contract year. So we really hope that he comes back this season.
Yeah.
Because he's a good player for us, man. He's a cutty little player that I think could really thrive if we retain Pagano. He's starting to flash.
Yep.
Raiders quarterback Derek Carr says 2017 feels about the same as his 0-10 rookie year.
That's how it feels for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guess what? The San Francisco 49ers are not walking through that door, Derek Carr. They're not going to bail you out this year.
Right.
But you did beat the Chiefs at home, so I will give you that. And there's nothing really else to say about that, you know.
Yeah. There is something to say about that though. In that 0-10 season,
say it.
In that 0-10 season, we had something to look forward to. We felt good about the future.
Thank you for saying that.
We were feeling positive towards the end of that season. And I told you, I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're losing every freaking game.
Yeah.
But we're making little improvements every game. And I really feel like we're heading in the right direction. And then we had the following season, and everything that I was thinking started to come true.
Yeah.
And now we're right back. We're going in reverse.
We're going in reverse.
We're ending this season with a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
And wondering, are we going to be able to get back to where we were last year? I didn't feel that way in that 0-10 season.
No.
I felt good. I felt like, yeah, this is it. It's the start of something beautiful. Now we're right here.
Here we are.
So that's the big difference for me. That's a big difference for me.
I was thinking that too. I'm glad you said that. Barring an unforeseen breakout game in Week 17, Raiders wide receiver Seth Roberts will finish his third consecutive season with a sub-50 overall grade. With Coop and Crab's inconsistencies, Oakland simply can't afford to have such low-level talent running 400-plus routes next season. It's a good thing we paid him a bunch of money, right? I don't like Seth Roberts. I didn't like Seth Roberts last year. I know he was Mr. Clutch for us a couple times last year, but his weaknesses and his deficiencies last year have just been magnified this year. And now we're saddled with a contract. I don't know what the cap penalty is if we get rid of him. We need depth at the wide receiver position. We don't have any. We don't know what we got with Farrell Brown. We know that he wears 81, and we're not happy about that.
No, I'm not happy with that.
You know, so far, Johnny Holton, fast guy, speedy guy, can't hold on to the ball. Crab can't hold on to the ball. Cooper can't hold on to the ball. Seth Roberts can't hold on to the ball. Your wide receivers, your job is to hold on to the ball. we have problems at the wide receiver position. We need to go out. We need to draft. We need to, maybe free agency. I don't know what the remedy is, but somebody needs to get in there. And I don't know. When every guy on the roster is having those problems, is it the quarterback? Is he throwing too hard? Is it the wide receivers coach? Is the jugs machine broken? What's happening over there?
I mean, it could be any one of those things. Honestly, it could be a little bit of everything.
It's not an anomaly.
It's not. It's something that we've seen over even last season. The only thing that kind of made us not really be concerned about it was that we were winning games, man. We were still scoring a lot of points. And this season, it just kind of magnified all those drop passes.
Yeah.
With the way that our offense played. So it's definitely an issue, and it's definitely something that we got to really take a close look at and say, do we want to start going somewhere else? Do we want to go a different direction with this squad? Because, this is a disappointing season, man. And even
if half these guys are catching balls, you got Crab, who's likely aging out in a couple of years. So we at least need to draft or sign his replacement. So, that's not even a knock on Crab. It is what it is. That's nature. So you've got to look towards the future. Got to look towards the immediate future of the next season. Got to get these drops corrected. And we'll talk about Todd Downing in a minute. But the offensive problems have been multiple. It's been Carr. It's been the line out of sync at times. In games they looked great. In other games they look like just completely different offensive line than we know. And it's wide receivers running the wrong routes, dropping balls, sometimes doing both on the same play. So it's really hard to pin the blame on one person. But in the NFL, the offensive coordinator or the coordinator position in general is always going to take the first knife.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say about that. With Todd Downing very likely out the door next week, hearing some Norv Turner buzz. That is, if Jack Del Rio is still head coach. Mark Davis is very unhappy. However, Del Rio probably gets another year based on defense really stepping up under Pagano. That's courtesy of Scott Winter, the Winter Report on Twitter. That's what he's hearing. Norv Turner in the mix. I would not be upset at that. I think that Norv Turner is not a head coach, but I think old Brailleface, I think he's a great coordinator.
He's shown it in the past, man. He has shown it in the past. Obviously, he has his issues. He's had his issues as far as being a head coach. He hasn't been able to handle that duty in his career. It's been shown many a times, right? But yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we brought him in. Obviously, we got to go somewhere, and we got to go somewhere I think we got to go somewhere with experience. If we are going to make the change at OC, we got to go with someone that has experience, because we made the change to somebody that didn't have experience, and we got this. Yeah. So if the change is going to be made and we're not going to allow this guy to gain some experience, then we definitely got to go with someone who's a veteran, who's been around, who's had some success as an offensive coordinator. And, Norv Turner's done that.
And Turner's creative, man. We've seen his schemes. He was in San Diego for a while, and he likes to push the ball downfield. So I think in many ways, if we can execute, signing a guy like Turner would quench a lot of the thirst that Raider fans have, which is, get Carr to get out to the second level, push the ball downfield, and get creative with your running backs. He likes to use the fullback, so we'll see what happens there. I like Norv. He seems to be the kind of guy that wants to use every piece on offense, which we need.
Yeah, we need more of distribution throughout games. We need a wider distribution to the different weapons that we have. Yeah.
You know,
I feel like a lot of times we just isolate on one player, we focus on one area, and then we just completely miss opportunities elsewhere.
What I like about Norvell, Mr. Norvell, Norv, is he likes to get the ball to the running back in space, and yeah. I like that too. When you had a guy like LT, you get a lot of looks like that. But we got guys catch the ball out of the backfield too. I like to see what DeAndre Washington can do in that position, and even Lynch. We have him for one more year, presumably. He did well with that in Seattle too. So, I would like that signing. I haven't really heard that name yet, but if Scott's saying it, he's in there. You know, he works. He's a credentialed writer. If he's saying he's hearing it, then I believe he's hearing it. Scott's an upstanding dude. So I believe it. To me, that's exciting. So I know Del Filipino, whatever his name is. A lot of people want him over here, but I haven't really heard him attached to us. But But Norv Turner, man, if he's being rumored, I'm not really mad at that. As long as he's not head coach, I don't think he's a leader. I think he's a schemer.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
True.
Cool. So that's actually a pretty good segue because we're going to get Kane in here for Kane's Corner. So hold that thought. I don't even know what you were thinking about, but hold on to it. And we'll get Kane in here in just 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, we got Kane's Corner, sponsored by NFLShop.com. Head on over to pj4f.com/shop and click through the banner, or just head to the main page and click on the banner. We get a little bit of something from your purchase over there, whether it's a can koozie or a brand new crisp Raider jersey. Help keep this pirate ship on the water and above water. Do everything you can to help us out. We appreciate that. And without further ado, what's up, Kane? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, baby boy? What's going on? How your holiday been, man?
Good, man. Happy holidays to you and yours.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's all good, man. You know, just doing the holiday thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had some good gumbo for Christmas.
Woo.
You know, that's how we do it. Chicken sausage and shrimp gumbo with the Dungeness crab.
Yeah, I saw that
You
on
know?
Twitter.
That's
You
how
don't
we get down, baby.
you don't skimp on the crab either. It's a hearty gumbo.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you follow me on Twitter at KMT6, I posted a picture of the gumbo. You know what I'm saying? And you would have saw how we get down.
And I had some of your gumbo at the Raider game last year, man, and I gotta say it's official. So
Fire.
yeah.
It's fire. This man knows how to cook.
Hey, where's my boy Che? Where's Che?
I'm right here,
Che,
man.
what's
I'm
up
right
with you,
here.
baby?
I'm right here, man.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm all right.
Good.
Merry Christmas to you and yours, man. I hope you and your family had a great Christmas, man.
Same
You
here,
know what
man.
I'm
Same
saying?
here, brother.
It's the holiday time. Holiday cheers to you and yours, baby.
Yeah.
Feeling the love. It's definitely that time of year. We were just talking a little bit about potential offensive coordinator coming in the door. Scott Winter tweeted out that he's hearing rumors of Norv Turner in the mix. And I wanted to ask you, because you were very vocal last season about Jack Del Rio's extension, and you were the first person to say that I heard that it was far too early and that we jumped the gun on that. And it turns out you're absolutely 100% correct, as it would seem. So I wanted to ask you, who do we fire? Who do we keep? Who do we demote? What do we do? Do we leave everything the same? Do we fire everybody? What's cracking with the Raiders coaching staff? What do you see happening in this offseason? What would you like to see this offseason?
Wow, man, that's a really complicated question. I mean, seriously. Oh, man. You know, because, you know, yeah, at one point you want to fire Jack Del Rio, and then you want to keep him. And then you got, well, let's just say this. Let's say this. We know we want to fire Todd Downing. I don't even want him as a quarterback coach. Like, you don't even need to be around the team no more. Like, that was a big mistake. You know what I'm saying? That was a big mistake. And so, okay, so in my opinion, let's get rid of the offensive coordinator. We got to do that. Now, whether you fire Jack Del Rio or you keep him, Kane says, let's fire his ass. But Mark Davis can't afford to fire Jack Del Rio and still keep him on payroll because that's what you got to do.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think that he can afford to fire him and keep him on payroll and then hire, let's say he can fire him, but can he hire a coach that he can pay $6 or $7 million a year? Because at this point, that's where we at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I'm like this close from losing my confidence in Derek Carr. So it's like, either you're going to fire Jack Del Rio, bring in a good offensive coordinator and an head coach, a la, what's the cat's name, and Mike Shanahan or McVay, somebody like that.
Pat Shermer.
That's going to hey, him too.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that you're going to bring in that's going to be the top-notch guy. If you can afford to pay that person, then you bring him in. But you know what? Mark can't afford that, so I guess we stuck with Jack Del Rio. So what we should do, keep Jack Del Rio, and because we have to, and bring in an offensive coordinator that's set to be the next head coach in the league, man. I mean, my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
You're not going to get Nagy. You're not going to get the next big guy because you can't afford it. So you got to pay the next upcoming guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this, and I'm like, well, they said Todd Downing was the next upcoming guy. So
Who was
I
they?
don't know. Do we keep him? Did we waste this? Did we waste this season for him to get some practice in? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just I'm flustered with this whole season. You know, and I really don't know, but I do think that we should let the offensive coordinator go. I really do. Either demote him or bring in somebody else.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. We got a little bit of what you want to see, but probably also what we're likely to see. And I think that was a great answer, man. Like you said, a complicated answer. Do we want Jack gone? It seems that way. You know, it seems like everything that we heard out of the Jacksonville camp is coming to fruition. But here we are saddled with this extension, which you called last year was early. So you got Jack in there, and the only thing we can do is replace the OC. And the only thing good we get by keeping Jack Del Rio is it seems this defense is responding to John Pagano. And so that would be the only thing that I wouldn't want to upset, because if Jack's gone, everybody's gone. And it's kind of like we got to start over a little bit. And we don't know how quickly the team responds to that. So we stand pat, we play the cards that are dealt to us, and get a new offensive coordinator in there and hope for the best. So I think that's a good answer, man. I think that's a real honest answer.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so let's get to it. Philadelphia Eagles, Oakland Raiders, Monday Night Football, Christmas game. These players came out, man. I thought, you know, it's Raider teams in the past, you wonder, is this team going to quit? And I watched this team, and for all the errors and all of the footstepping that we did, everything we did to trip ourselves up on offense, I really still feel like these players came out to play. They had fight in them. And that being said, it's time to get into our MVP and our trash can player. So who's your trash can player this week, Kane?
My trash can player is Derek Carr. I'm sorry, Raider fans. 146 yards passing. Come on now. Derek Carr, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, the interception, the last minute fumble with Jalen Richard, we can overcome that.
Yeah.
But the interception when you was 10-10, you know, that's I'm just saying our season in a trash can or a nutshell or whatever you want to call it is been on Derek Carr.
Yep.
You know, so if we're gonna blame something and give a trash can player for 16 games or 15, I'm going to say Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Derek Carr. 15 games, bro. 15 games, bro. We're now 9 losses scoring less than 20 points. Matter of fact, scoring less than 17 points. Wow. Not even 20 points. Yeah. Scoring less than 17 points. And that's on the offense. Now, if you want to say you can blame Todd Downing or whatever this case may be, he's calling plays. Mm-hmm. You can improvise. You can call an audible. You can roll out the pocket. You can run for a first down. I haven't seen any of that from Derek Carr this year. All I've seen is a regression and a guy that seems like he's, you know, a little bit nervous in the pocket.
He's seeing ghosts out there. He's seeing ghosts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's giving you some props right there by saying you're a little bit nervous in the pocket. I'm just giving you some props because I really want to say worse, but I'm just saying that's, you know, so we can say the offensive line hasn't blocked well, whatever, but hey, Derek Carr, you're going in the trash can this week, baby. And I mean that. You're going in the trash can this week.
My runner-up, because I just want to say this, I agree with you 100. But my runner-up, my honorable mention, maybe driving the truck, maybe just dragging on the bumper, is Giorgio Tavecchio. Because I'm tired of seeing this guy make miss important field goals all season, man. The guy cost us arguably 2 games this year already.
But Peyton Manning said it best. When do we put the game on a kicker?
Right.
When do we put the game on a kicker?
Yeah, well, you asked Pittsburgh that because Boswell, he's won 3 games.
When the game comes down to a kicker, that means everybody else either didn't do good enough or you did just good enough to win the game when you put the game on a kicker. So we can say to Vecchio, but I'm like, no, Carr is my trash player.
I just
2017 season, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got Giorgio. I got Giorgio in the sidecar. He's just like holding on to the back riding a skateboard. He's not in the can, but just had to throw out an honorable mention right there. I definitely.
Hey, hashtag bring back Jano.
Yeah, let's get that trending because I think there's more gas in the tank, and we'll see, man. I'd love to see that. That'd be pretty cool to see him walk back on the field for at least one more year. That would be cool. So that's the negative. Let's bring in the sunshine. Let's bring in the MVP. Who's your MVP in this game?
My MVP in this game is Marshawn Lynch, 95 yards on 23 carries. Or what he had, 24 carries?
25.
25?
25, yeah, 25 carries.
25 carries. Okay, 25 carries, 95 yards. Marshawn Lynch has been heating up in the last 3-4 weeks of the season. Matter of fact, 5-6 weeks of the season. Marshawn Lynch came to life. And you know what? That's what we brought him here for. We brought him here for the stretch. So if we was playing like we were supposed to be playing right now, if we were instead of what are we? 4-9, 5-9, 6-9, 6-9. We'd be, instead we'd be 10-7 or whatever, 10-5, maybe 11-4 right now. That's what we brought Marshawn here for, and he's doing exactly that. So I'm gonna have to say Marshawn Lynch is my MVP.
You the real MVP.
And actually for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, the guy's been tearing shit up, man.
Yeah,
he's been doing what he brought here to do.
Yeah, he looks just like the Marshawn Lynch we thought he would be. He runs violently.
Yeah, man,
violent.
He's dropping people left and right, man. You seen those hits he's had these last few weeks? It's beautiful.
I was watching the game with my lady on Christmas, and she doesn't watch a lot of football. But I was like, that's beast mode. She's like, what's beast mode? I'm like, that's what they call him. And I was like, watch this guy. And he doesn't get hit. He hits people. And she was like, ooh. She was like, ooh. I was like,
she got some beast mode real quick, didn't she? That's right. You know what I mean? Other than the beast mode, she already getting at the house. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I run through that. Yeah, I got the inside zone on lock. Got that power run game.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Would you say that this was the best defensive performance of the year, Kane? What do you think about that?
I want to say, it's the best defensive performance, but here we go again. It's against a backup quarterback, man. You know what I mean? So can we, okay, Nick Foles, granted, Nick Foles is a good quarterback and has been successful in this league at some point, but he's still a backup. Yeah. So, being that it is the best defensive performance we've had, is Pagano the guy? Or we got a chance to blow this thing up and start all over with at least a new staff behind the head coaching staff? I don't know, man. I don't know. Did they start playing better because they mad because they don't have Ken Norton anymore?
Right.
Did he change the system much? He didn't. You guys think about it. We're still running the 2-4-5. You guys got to think about it. We're still running the 2-4-5.
Here's my counterpoint to that. Because the last time we faced Nick Foles, he threw for 4.5 million yards and 7,000 touchdowns. And okay, but here's the other thing: is against the Giants, I wasn't a believer yet because their offensive line is trash. Their backup is garbage. So I wasn't a firm believer yet, but I saw some things I liked. But what I have to say is the defensive pressure is getting there now.
Yep.
It's there right now. And I don't care who your quarterback is. We're getting there. We're getting there fast. The pressure we're getting with just our front four is like night and day. He's not even blitzing that much. And I know Pagano is known for his blitzing schemes, but he's not even blitzing that much. If you look at the numbers, it's the twists and the stunts up front. He's getting creative. You got a guy like Jihad Ward's being used as a two-gap defensive lineman, and now we got him in motion. We got him pulling off. We got him using his feet. That athletic prowess is what we drafted him for, and he makes a play on Monday Night Football. I'm not saying Jihad Ward's the next stud on this team, but I'm just kind of using that as an example.
Right.
We're getting these guys in a position where a guy even like Ward can get back there and make a play. Vanderdoes finally makes a play. So I agree with you. I think there's still a question mark over Pagano. We still don't really know yet. We will know week 1 of next season if Pagano's still here. That's a good measure. You're coming out. It's flat. You're probably going to be facing a starting quarterback. There's really nothing to play for at that point. K&J's in the rear view mirror is what I mean by that. And so that we'll get kind of an unbiased look at it at that point. But I am seeing an improvement on this defense. I'm seeing the corners playing a lot better. And, I like it. I want to be a believer at this point. Am I a believer yet? No, but I want to be. I'm starting to lean that direction.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Che?
I think that everything that we've witnessed is saying that we're trending positively, right? The defense is trending. It's progressing in a positive way. Now, what's responsible for that? We can't really put our finger on it. I don't think anyone really has the answer to that yet. It's like you said, we have to wait and see if Pagano's still around and they continue to improve, or they're miles ahead of where they were this year. Then you can start to say, okay, Pagano's actually doing something. But I think another thing too that we've I think we've just gotten used to him being there. Bringing Bowman in, man, I think he's really made the biggest impact on that defense. I think he's been the reason why our defense has started to improve as much as it has, because he's solidified that middle of the field, which is what we were talking about, man.
Right. The other thing too that I liked out of this, the other thing I liked in this game was, the mid game adjustments. You had Ertz, who was really lighting us up in the first half, and then in the second half. I want to say he didn't do anything, but they definitely shut him down. I think he had
absolutely
4 catches in the second half. And then
I agree.
The Eagles' rushing game really got shut down in the second half too. I think they were under 100 yards rushing for the night. There was something
absolutely. Alshon Jeffrey, 0 catches. Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's something there, but I do agree with you, Kane, that we need to hold back our judgment until this team is playing. Like I said, we're 0-0 and we start fresh.
Yep.
We'll really know next year if Pagano is still here what we're getting out of that, but. I'm seeing a more effective use of our personnel. I was talking to somebody the other day on the blog, and they were saying there's no one way to win in the NFL. And I said, no, that's wrong. There is one way. It's coaching to the strength of your personnel.
Yep.
There's no one strategy, but if you coach to the strength of your players, you should win if you have players that can execute.
You give your team a chance to succeed if you play to their strengths. If you go against what they do positively, you're not gonna do well.
You guys, well, look, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Last year I said, and I'm not trying to be hard as a motherfucker on this, but I'm gonna just keep it real. Last year I told y'all when we extended Jack Del Rio, I said, hey, look, we had an easy schedule. We, everything met in our favor. Let's wait till 2017 and see, with a harder schedule, a harder travel schedule, how does Jack do? So, in my opinion, this was Jack's year to show us that, hey, look, I am, you know what I mean? And he didn't. He shows you I'm not. So at the end of the day, he had to fire a defensive coordinator, promote the assistant head coach. Then he had to, in the off season, he let his offensive coordinator walk, which he's been in business with for years. He's had him in Jacksonville. He's worked with this guy. Him and this guy are pretty cool, I would say. He let him walk because he thought the younger up and coming stud was going to be the situation. Don't you think we didn't let Jack already make enough enough decisions going forward? He's already done that. That's what I was trying to tell y'all last year. See, if you wouldn't have extended his contract last year, now you could fire him.
Right.
Because you could say this was your year to take your team one step. Even if we just made the playoffs and got beat in the first round, at least you matched what you did last year. You didn't even match what you did last year, bro. Like, you done, oh my God, you really don't want to hear my mouth. So what I'm trying to say is, like, have you really done anything to go to next year? Did you do anything to deserve your extension?
Right.
No, bro, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we regressed.
Yeah, no,
we
definitely.
regressed as a team. Special team. Look, anytime you got Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Marshawn Lynch, Derek Carr, the billion-dollar offensive line, and so on and such, we can go on to name the defensive, stars that you say are stars. You're 6-9 after 15 games.
Yeah.
So, did you deserve that extension?
No.
No. So, why are we still sitting here talking about what Jack Del Rio can do next year when last year we already said, let's see what he can do this year? See, you guys not remembering. We already said, let's see what he can do this year.
Right.
We gave him this year because he got the extension. Well, only because Mark gave it to him. The fans, I didn't think he deserved that extension. So in my opinion, Mark Davis is not going to say, I made a mistake, so I'm going to fire Jack. He's not going to do that. You know why? Because he cannot afford to pay the next up-and-comer.
Right.
He can't afford it.
Right.
David Shaw can't afford him. Matt Nagy can't afford him. Maybe Matt Nagy, but somebody that's already proven he can't afford him. That's a $6-7 million a year coach. And then you still got to pay Jack Del Rio. So all this talk about whether we should get rid of Jack Del Rio or not, hey, I want to fire Jack Del Rio. I seriously want to let Jack Del Rio go. But at the end of the day, knowing financial situations and what's going on inside of Oakland with the move and everything, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, Mark's still got to pay. Mark's got to pay parking fees still, and he's got to build a bridge in Las Vegas. I say when the time comes when we fire Jack Del Rio.
Exactly, bro. So like, we could talk about all the coaches we want, and I love to do that. But at the end of the day, we stuck with Jack, and I think I posted that on the block. Like, we're stuck with what we have. And we might be stuck with Downing. Right now, this team, ownership, financial, does not have the money to change coaching staffs right now. They don't have it. They just don't have it. And those of you that are happy that we was moving to Las Vegas and all that stuff, think about that. He's paying a price right now. We're not playing games in Oakland when we should be playing them in Oakland. We playing them in Mexico. I mean, there's a lot that's going on right now, and I can talk about this all night. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have gave this guy an extension, and we did. So now you're stuck with him. He's not going anywhere. Trust me, he's not. This is a mom-and-pop organization. I've owned a business. I know what business is like. You're not going to pay Jack Del Rio if you don't have the money and then go out and hire a top-notch coach to come in and coach this program. It's not going to happen. So what we should be talking about, guys, is what we're going to do draft-wise to bring in better players and to bring in – because you might be stuck with Todd Downing too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, you might be stuck with Todd Downing. Yeah, he might still be here. Though we hope not. Hey, He might still be here, man.
Yeah.
So what we should be talking about right now is who we gonna bring in to help what we got right now.
Well, I think we definitely will be going there, man.
Jay, hold on one second, Jay. Hold on, because I want to say this. You can't teach and coach away fear. You can't do that. And right now, the whole thing, the sunshine in the middle of this circle is Derek Carr. And if your sunshine ain't shining because he's scared to come out and shine, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and you can't
I
fix
agree.
that with a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a whole new staff, or nothing.
True.
So I think right now what we should be talking about is what Derek Carr is going to do to make his season better in 2018.
Well, I think number one is get healthy.
That's about
man.
where we at, man.
I think number one is get healthy. I think that's the most important. And I think last week or not last week because we didn't have an episode last week, but 2 weeks ago when you mentioned it, you said it might be time to shut him down. I think there was a point in that about him being fully healthy and being ready to go, so that we can really see if he was just not himself this year because he was injured still, because he was struggling. He had deficiencies that were a known fact, and that's why he played the way he did. Or is he broken? Is he really going to be this person from this point forward? We hope not, obviously, right? We hope that he recovers and he becomes the same guy that we saw back in the 2016 season. But that's what we got to look forward to. We gotta wait and see, man. And that's I know Raider fans are tired of hearing that, but we gotta wait and see.
The greatness of the Raiders is still in its future.
Ain't you tired of hearing that though?
Yeah.
Ain't you tired of saying that though?
Yep. Yep.
I'm tired of hearing it, and I'm tired of saying it, and I'm tired of standing up for it. I'm tired of I'm tired, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Mark Davis, hey, look, we hired Jack Del Rio. We gave him an extension. We're stuck with it.
Yeah.
And so all we can do as commentators and mediators and media people, all we can do is talk about what they're going to do to get better. And really at this point, it starts with the quarterback, because that's where we've had a problem. We can say the offensive line didn't do this, or the running back, or the play calling, or whatever, but Derek Carr overcame all that shit last year, you guys.
Yep.
So if he didn't overcome it this year, then that's on him. And I'm tired of making excuses for the quarterback position on this team. The defense has turned it around and stepped up. So we said, if the defense was playing better, maybe we would. Okay, the defense is playing better now. We still ain't scoring more than 17 points, bros.
Yep.
Yep.
And
so that's on Derek Carr. That's on the offense. Look, you could beat a guy with a double move. We only ran one time.
The double move.
Why didn't you do it wait, 25 plays and then another double move? You would have won the game, because that's 14 points. I mean, you would have won the game. You whatever. I'm frustrated with this team. I'm frustrated with this team, and my only point is you're not doing things to win games that you should be, and it's coming from the quarterback and the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, there it is, right there, bro. Yep. I really appreciate you coming on short notice tonight. I know we moved the show up a day in advance, and always love having you on, man. Your takes are great. They're honest, spicy, and I think it's stuff that a lot of people really need to hear, even if it's hard to swallow sometimes. It's what you need to hear. So I appreciate it, man. I really do.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you guys next week, man. It's good to talk to y'all, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Happy New Year. And what y'all doing for New Year, man? Anybody, y'all going out to the clubs or what?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all just gonna chill? Or what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Y'all some youngsters, too. I know y'all got it going on this weekend. What's happening? Tell me where it's going on at.
Yeah, I think my lady and I, we may go out to San Francisco and try to hit up a club out there. If not, we might be low-key and maybe go down to Carmel and just do something kind of nice and romantic down there. And, do our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with you, man? What are you doing?
Man, I'm doing nothing. I'm 47. I'm staying home, and I'll probably be asleep at midnight. Shit. Hey, I'll talk to y'all brothers next week. It's always good, and I'm glad to be on this show and a part of it, man. And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to everybody out there that listens to this show. You can follow me on at Kane MT6, man, and Kenny and Che. I love both of y'all, man. Enjoy your New Year's, brothers, and I'll talk to you next year.
All right, man.
All right. See you 2017, bro.
Yeah. 2008. No.
2018.
2018, man. What? We don't want to go backwards.
Man, I'm all fucked up right now.
Oh, man.
So, good segment. That was a great segment, a long segment. So we're going to get out of here real quick. I got somebody else waiting to bring in in the second segment in still 2017. The second segment will be in 2017. But yeah, that was a good segment. Let's take a break. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that, man.
All right, we'll see you guys on the other side. We out here.
Peace.
The Raiders.
What's up there, Pillaging podcast people? Just Fire Baby JFB chiming in. Who to fire? Let's think about this. Who should we fire? One person, the fat man, Reggie McKenzie. He has to go. And here is why Reggie has to go. He was brought in to do a job, and he did it. He did his job. Reggie McKenzie was brought in to fix this mess of an organization, and he absolutely did that. We got some pieces. We got some cap space. We got some things moving forward. We slap him on the rear, give him quite a few attaboys, maybe the gold Rolex, make sure his 401's fully vested, give him a nice little bonus on the way out the door, and get him out of here. Reggie McKenzie knows how to fix an organization. He doesn't know how to run a top-tier organization. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be the guys, you know? And sometimes the guy that can get you to the halfway point isn't the guy to get you home. And that's not how it works all the time in life. And obviously, look at this offseason that he had. It was a complete grease fire. We're trying to build a brand. We're trying to build a winner. We're trying to build a team that teams know how they're going to lose to us and still can't do a damn thing about it. We don't even know how we're going to win. This is fingers crossed, throw it in the air. Oh, kick it through the uprights, hopefully 50 yards. That's our strategy, to win. And that's not going to work. I mean, what did he do this offseason? What was that? Just went around giving contracts and money to everybody. Seth Roberts, here's a pay raise, take it. Sean Smith, we can cut you, maybe restructure your contract. Nah, here's $8.25 million. We're good, right? Derek Carr, who cares about a broken leg or no playoff wins? Here's $125 million. I'm sure it'll be fine. Donald Penn, I don't want to show up to work, big fella. All right, we're good, but $2 million? Maybe he'll show up to work next week, hopefully. Right? Hopefully. What a bunch of guys failed. He failed. It's time to go. Fire Reggie McKenzie. Everyone else will fall in line with the new GM, Jack. I'm sure they'll all go. Get Reggie out of here. Get a new guy. Championships in Vegas.
And we're back. Let me take a drink of water because that take was spicy.
Hot. That was hot.
It's hot. Spicy take coming from New Mexico. JFB coming in with that red chile. Coming in real hot. You know what? Hot. Spicy. I don't completely disagree. I'd like to see Reggie stay, but damn, he makes a good point.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to chill with JFB several occasions. Have a few drinks with him and talk to him. And if you come on the blog, you come in the comment section, he hits you with quick shots, quick spicy takes, but he never really, fully explains. It gives you context to some of his takes. And when he does, as crazy as he may sound to some people, he makes a lot of sense to me. And I know this guy. I've sat down with him again. Like I said, he's a smart guy. He's a passionate Raider fan. He knows his history, and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's funny too. Yeah, we got to get him in the offseason. What do you say? Keep or can Reggie?
I don't know, man.
After that call, you don't know.
I don't know, man. I like you said, he makes some good points, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm fully on board with him, but he's definitely got me teetering at least. Yeah.
So we're going to bring on Mario Tovar right now from RaiderRamble.com. Make sure you go check out their site. They got a big team of writers over there, a lot of different opinions, a lot of different takes, and it's good stuff. It's an up-and-coming site. It's a rising star in the Raider blog world. So we're proud to be affiliated with them now, and let's bring them on. Let's see what's up. Hey, Mario, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Sorry, yeah, Skype isn't always reliable, huh?
Skype can be very unreliable. We'll stick with the trusty old Google. Google always doing it right.
No problem, man. No problem.
Welcome.
Hey, before you get started, thanks for having me on here. Thanks for having me on here, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for bringing me into your team. We appreciate the affiliation. I like Raider Ramble. I like what you guys are doing over there. It's always good to see an upstart, an independent media source. No bias, no media bias.
Yeah.
This ain't Fox. This ain't CNN. This is
Fake news. It's not fake news, man.
It's not fake news. Most definitely not that. So what's up, man?
No. We pride ourselves. We pride ourselves, man, on different points of view. You know, you're already gonna start seeing that. You know, we're not about fake news or anything like that. We just get different perspectives. You know, they're not always popular, but it's still our own. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're not popular, maybe you're saying the right things, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Especially this season, a lot of that stuff has had to be said. So it's been a rough year, and I appreciate you guys for hanging in there. There's a few outlets out there that have sort of thrown their hands up. And just a quick, really side note: we weren't on the air last week. To our listeners, we did not give up. It was Christmas. We had family stuff. I had family in town. And so that's why we took the break. We weren't. We were disgusted.
There's no quitting us, man.
There's no quit.
There's no quitting us.
Yeah, we stay pillaging out here. So, Mario, man, I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to pick your brain on a couple things. 2017 NFL season is pretty much in the books for us. We got one more game. We'd love to stick it to the Chargers one last time. But before we're out of here for the season, I wanted to ask you who you thought on this Raider squad took steps forward this year. And I know that might be hard to pick out, but maybe not. Who's on your list? Who's on your nice list?
I think for me, watching this team all season, trying to look for the bright spots, I think the one that took a big step forward and also in his own right is a rising star, I would have to say TJ Carey. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think he's done great. I don't know if the Raiders are going to retain him. I know he's going to be a free agent. Hopefully we can retain him because I think he's really going to be needed next year. John Pagano, assuming he stays on board, first full year as defensive coordinator, I think he can do some great things. I mean, he had some really great, just individual games, especially early on, when everybody was just bashing Ken Norton, and we all are familiar with, the defensive struggles at this point. I think they're well documented. But I think, he had some great individual games early on. And all the way through the season, he finished strong. I think that's somebody that I think took some steps forward, definitely a rising star. Somebody else I think, I don't think is getting enough love, in my opinion, is Jared Cook.
Yeah.
I think he had a great season. I think he had a great season. When you compare his previous numbers, last few seasons, he's not a 1,000-yard tight end. He's not that type of tight end. But just look at his numbers. 2 touchdown passes. His catches were averaging almost 13 yards. Longest reception was for 35. I think it was just frustrating to see Downing not utilizing.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, that was just so frustrating because you could see the differences in games when he was getting involved early on. I mean, man, the difference was night and day. Jared Cook was brought in to be that missing piece. And, I mean, what can we say about Downing at this point that hasn't been said,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Jared Cook, I would have liked to see him get even more targets this year because that guy's hard to bring down. I agree with everything you say about Travis J. Carey. His full name doesn't get said enough. Give the man some respect. I think.
And you know who else? I think should be a rising star, but for whatever reason, I'm hearing different things. I know you've heard some things. on Cordero Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really missed using him. And like I said, man, I think at this point, we're beating a dead horse talking about Downing's offense, but man, they really missed it having such a multi-dimensional player. I mean, he looked like the freaking Raiders running back out there at times. You know what I mean? And it's just reminded me of what's that kid's name when Al Davis was still running the show? Kobe Ford. So does that multi-use player, and it just man, it was just frustrating. I think we're all in the same boat, frustrated with Downing's offense this year.
Well, my thing with Patterson, and they get to see things in practice that we don't get to see, and so just kind of taken away with from how they've used them, using them in the backfield, using them in kind of bubble screens. They had a nice play design for him against Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the defender caught up with him before he hit the first down marker, and that play could have gone to the house. But my takeaway is the way they're using him in gadget plays is that he's probably just not running crisp routes. I don't think Patterson's a good route runner. That said, yes, he's hard to take down. His hands are pretty sure. And, he's a load when he's out there and he gets a head of steam going. So I would like to see more play design for him.
If that's the case, why not use him on special teams?
Yeah.
Why insist on using Jalen Richard, who was clearly struggling this year with the fumbles? Why not take advantage of Patterson? I told that to one of my colleagues, and he straight up said, well, he wasn't brought in to do that. Who cares, man? You adjust with the talent. I think that's one of the problems that also you have with the defense early on is that they weren't catering to the strength of the individual players.
Right.
They were forcing the guys onto a scheme, and it's like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. What can we say?
I was just saying that in the last segment. I was having a conversation on the blog 2 days ago, and someone was saying there's no one way to win in the NFL. And my counter to that is there is one way to win, and that's coaching to your players' strengths and adapting your scheme to your personnel. That's how you win football games in the NFL. You don't have to be pass heavy. You don't have to be run heavy. You don't have to be blitz heavy. You don't have to be zone. You don't have to be man. There's no one key to winning. The key is putting your players in a position to succeed. And I definitely think we missed some opportunities there with Patterson.
Yep.
And I'd agree with you there. I think there's more to be seen from Cordero than we've seen so far. I don't know if he can field punts. That's a whole different beast than fielding kickoffs. But I don't know if they're trying it in practice or not. But definitely, I would feel as a fan watching on TV, watching in the stands, a whole lot more excited to see 84 back there fielding a punt.
Right.
That would get the hairs on the back of my neck standing up.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Well, like you said, it's about maximizing the talent, and that falls on coaching. That falls on removing your ego. You see that in all professional sports. You've seen coaches that just force their schemes on players when clearly sometimes it just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to remove your ego, man, and just cater to the player's strengths. You know what I mean? It's not always about your scheme. If you have the talent, why not use it?
Yep.
So I wrote an article for you guys yesterday. 1 step forward, 1 step forward, 2 step backward. War in the Babylon. Great record, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google that. So players that took steps backwards this year, I think there's one glaring player that we all know. Derek Carr definitely took steps backwards. But aside from Derek Carr, who do you got on the naughty list this year?
I think judging, just keeping an eye on the season, and actually just a couple of days ago, one of our guys over here at the Ramble, he wrote a piece called Holden Mayberry. He wrote top 5 most disappointing players, and obviously Carr's in there. We all know it's been well documented. Just a combination of things. The scheme, the injury. I think a lot of people are forgetting the back injury. How big of an issue it was. Obviously, they're keeping, that on the down low. Yeah. But I think guys that really disappointed, I would have to say Eddie Vanderdoes. I was there at the games during preseason, and man, he looked great. Everybody was hyped up to see this kid, and then what happened? You know what I mean? 15 tackles in 14 games. Wow. That's not what you would expect from your lead. Just your interior pass rusher. And it's like you didn't see it. I'm not ready to call him a bust or anything like that. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, I'm really excited to see what Pagano can do with these guys. We saw how the talent was wasted under Norton. Like I said, with the scheme and everything, and now maximizing these guys, putting them in positions. The other guy, I don't know if you guys have said this or not, is probably Amari Cooper. Mm-hmm. I know the injuries and all that, but the drops, man, it's like, what happened? Yeah. It's like, what's going on? Is it a mental thing? I know early in the season they were questioning, well, why isn't he fired up? Why doesn't he show any passion? I don't think it's a question of, his drive or the passion for the game. Maybe it was just a down season. His first 2 seasons, he eclipsed 1,000 yards. He was a Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was just a coincidence, just one down year. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who runs this offense next season. We don't know yet. Yeah. We don't know yet. So obviously, this kid is not a bust. I know a lot of guys are coming down hard on him, but yes, he had one down year, but let's give him a shot. This is barely his 3rd season. I think Cooper will bounce back, to tell you the truth.
No, Cooper's got just way too much raw talent to be labeled a bust at this point. He's already done too much to be a bust at this point.
Exactly.
Like you said, just one down year. And a guy that's not taking enough heat, and maybe he should. I mean, I don't really know what this guy does on any team, but the wide receiver coach, Rob Moore, maybe it's time for him to go.
Right.
I don't know what's going on there. Or is it Carr throwing balls too hard? Preferably, my quarterback, you throw the ball as hard as you want. Brett Favre made a Hall of Fame career out of throwing the ball really hard. Dan Marino, same thing. So that's, you're a wide receiver in the NFL. Just catch the damn ball.
Right.
So I think that's good. You got anybody else on the naughty list you want to mention?
I think moving forward, it just depends. I would have to say David Emerson. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Just because of the money issue, the health, a lot of guys that I talk to that are part of the crew, they say that maybe he should retire, man, just the health concerns alone.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I wanted to get your take on that. What did you guys think? Do you think maybe he should retire, or let's see what he can do under Pagano in a full year, assuming it's healthy?
Well, I mean, honestly, I gotta agree with you there. It's definitely a regression for Emerson. When we picked him up, he came on and it was kind of a surprise, right? We're like, whoa, who's this guy? He did really great for us that first season with us. And since then, it's just kind of been slowly getting worse, and the injuries have been more and more, reoccurring. So I don't know. It's debatable. It's definitely debatable, but there is that fear that we don't really have much at the corner position as it is. And if you do release David Emerson, who's there, right? I know you mentioned Carey, and I would have to agree with you that Carey's improved quite a bit, and he probably shines the most out of everybody. But who else do we have? I mean, we have our high hopes for Conley, but same thing's happening with him, right? We got an injury bug with him too. So it's yet to be seen. And so I don't know, man. It's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. But you might be right. You might be onto something. It might be time for him to go.
Yeah, it's tough to see that. Emerson went from a guy that we got great value out of to a guy that we possibly now overpaid for by really no fault of his own. I mean, you can't blame yourself for getting hurt.
No.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
No,
I mean,
injuries happen, man. But at the same time, it's like Reggie has to cut his losses at some point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Great takes right there. You had mentioned a couple rising stars, but who's one young player on this team that you see possibly being a rising star or a bright light next season or even the season after that? Is there anybody on this team that you see as a real up-and-comer, a young buck that we drafted maybe this year, maybe it was last year, someone that you see coming around that could really help this team out in the future?
I think the fan inside of all of us is really hoping Obi turns out to be a star. Am I right? I think we just had so much writing on him, and part of that is unfair. Part of that is a lack of depth, maybe, Reggie being unable to sign enough depth, but putting so much pressure on this year's rookie class, in particular Conley and Obi. Mm-hmm. That was just, looking back, I mean, at that time, I think as fans, maybe not so much as guys who covered the team, but just as fans, we were excited. But now that you look back, maybe you see the flaws in putting so much weight on rookies on a season that was supposed to be Super Bowl bound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that I think was asking for a disaster. Now, okay, let's say OB and Conley are healthy, they make an impact. Reggie's a genius.
Right.
But instead, the 360, and now people are actually considering maybe Reggie should be let go. I mean, you're seriously hearing that from fans on social media. Obviously, these are fans that are fired up, but still, it's been a disaster to say the least. As far as next year, I think the youngsters we really have to keep an eye on is the offensive line, Sharp and Alexander.
Right.
Moving forward, are these guys going to be the long-term answers? Penn is getting older. He has the injury. I know he'll bounce back, but it's still, it's long-term issues. Is Reggie going to draft some linemen next year? A lot of people were saying maybe he should have drafted some this past draft. Well, no, he needed defense. Next season, let's see what he does in this upcoming draft. Is he going to take an offensive lineman maybe in the third, fourth, maybe even second round? We'll see. But I think that's something we really have to keep an eye on moving forward. With Carr, especially now with Carr having injuries, is Sharp and Alexander, are they going to be long-term answers?
Yeah, I'd like to see David Sharp step up. Obviously, we got a limited look at him last night. He graded out fairly well in pass blocking. He allowed 0 pressures. He got a little bit of help from KO on the side there. Didn't do so well on the run. But again, it's really his first look. I know he had a few snaps earlier in the season, but this is his first real look. So I like the pick when we made it. He's got a cool story. And big dude. So I'd like to see Sharp pan out for us. I was saying earlier on, Penn's going to be out the door soon. I know it is a controversial take, but I don't think there's many players on the team that wants it more than Penn. And I know that sounds really bad considering he was a holdout in the offseason. But when you watch the post-game interviews, he looks more pissed off than anybody on that squad.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And he's a Raider fan, and I know he really wants this.
And something else that I don't understand, Frank, and I'm sure you've heard this, why does the team not use Kelechi Osemele at left tackle? More Raven. He's a mauler. He's proven. I don't know. I've never, especially when Penn held out, I never understood why not give Osemele a shot at left tackle. Why not? He could probably be. He's younger. We know that. He could be a sort of I think stopgap maybe. Left tackle for another 3 to 4 years.
Right. Yeah. Possibly. I guess the only reason why they didn't do this season is just it's so late in the game. But that's definitely an option going forward.
Not only that, but you want to make sure that the interior of that line is solid, because that's the quickest route to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you remove KO from the guard position, who do you put there then? Who steps up there? Are we going to be using John Feliciano for that? I don't know that that's the answer either.
Yeah.
So that's the problem there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fat Clay Thompson. Yeah.
In his defense, he did all right this season. Obviously he's not going to be. Feliciano's not going to be a star lineman, but I think he proved he's a decent guy out there.
He's a backup. He's a decent backup for sure.
Yeah. Mario, man, how do people find you? How do they get a hold of you out there in the social media world? And plug your site a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, just quickly, man, I don't like to self-promote too much, but I started Raider Ramble back in April. I've written for FanSided, Raiders Wire, USA Today, Last Word on Sports, pretty much all those sites that you might be familiar with at one point or another. I wrote for them. And I just decided, do my own thing, start my own pirate ship, not be held by corporate standards, just basically be an independent site, Yeah. And ever since then, man, it's been great. I've had help from some great writers, guys, come and go, but still, it's been solid, man. And in the last couple months, being on Bleacher Report, that's huge for us, especially in this industry. It means a lot, to be an independent site on Bleacher Report. Not too many sites can say that. Most sites answer to a corporate sort of structure, I'm not going to say names, but they answer to some sort of corporate structure. We don't, man. We do our own thing. Scott Winter has done a great job actually representing the Ramble at some of the away games this season. Hopefully that's something we can continue into the future as well. That'd be awesome, So, yeah, you can find us, obviously, RaiderRamble.com. We're on Twitter at The Raider Ramble. We're on Facebook, The Raider Ramble. We're on Instagram, The Raider Ramble. And we also have a podcast that we're working on, working out the kinks, working out some planning. So that's something we definitely want to do.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to hear from you. Hopefully have you on future shows, and I'd be down to make an appearance over there too, do a little bit of crosstalk, I guess you can call it. And
oh yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah, it's been great, man. I appreciate it. I love writing. I kind of lean on this podcast pretty heavy, but I do need to do more written content for my site, and that's kind of why I agreed to start working with you as well, because it's going to motivate me every week to kind of get something done. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. So we're pirate ships out here, man. We're pirate ships out here.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely, man. It's cool to see a bunch of people just do their own thing and actually be good at it. It's something special, And like you said, I look forward to working with you and this podcast, man. I'm a big fan, and yeah, man, moving forward, I'm definitely excited.
I think you just said we're doing a good job, Che.
Hey. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Take
Well,
that.
you know what I mean, man. I think we can both agree there's just too many podcasts out there, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you really gotta dissect and look at the good ones. But no, man, you guys do a great job for sure.
We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it, man. We'll look forward to talking to you again in the near future. Have a happy new year, Mario. See you in 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year, man. And look forward to 2018 with you guys, too.
Yep. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
All right.
Well, it was nice. That was Mario, new voice on the show. We'd like to
Yeah.
bring in fresh voices. He had mentioned Scott Winter. He's been on the show with us too. Another good guy. Kind of a cool story how he came up, as a fan and as an independent writer, and he caught a good break. And yeah, man, it was cool. It's cool. It's good talking to you, Mario. So we got a little bit more show for you here, and we'll get into it right now. Injury report. So good news this week is we only had two, and I know it's early in the week, first practice. We only had two DNPs for the Raiders, and Gabe Jackson is now officially off the injury report. So apparently that foot is fully healed, just in time for the season to be over. But it's good news.
Thank God.
Thank God. What a relief. But that's good. Good for him. I mean, personally, to get off of that. Now, if you could take that healthy foot and plant it firmly in Todd Downing's ass, we'll be headed in the right direction. Vidal Alexander obviously out with a concussion. David Amerson still listed with a foot. We still have not seen him. He's limited, though. He's been limited for 2 weeks now. So it's he's out there. He's trying. We just don't know where he's at. Yeah. Obviously, we've said enough about him already in the last interview there. So Godspeed to you, David Amerson. Danico Autry still dealing with the hand ankle limited. Cook, Cooper, Edwards, Hester all limited with ankle injuries. Actually, Cook with a wrist injury. Hudson, ankle illness. Obviously, we know it's kidney stones.
Yeah.
Ooh, people have been telling me all week more painful than birth.
Right.
My mom told me more painful than labor pain. So she was watching the game too, and I was like, that guy's got kidney stones. She was like, God damn. Dexter McDonald with a knee, Keith McGill with a knee, Patterson with a hip, all 4 of those limited, 3 of those limited. Chargers, on the other hand, they had 3 DNPs, one of those being Melvin Gordon. He's joined by Adrian Phillips and tight end Jeff Cumberland. Full practice for them was Keeler and Jenkins, and then limited for them was Lugitt, Okung, Perryman, and Spencer Pooley. They got some really funky names on that squad.
I was about to say that, man. It's some trouble right there. It's trouble for anybody who's trying to read those names off real quick.
Yeah, don't at me. I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's your injury report. Let's break down this Chargers game a little bit. We won't spend too much time on it, but it's the last game of the season. It's the last time we'll get to do this for a while. So some keys to the game.
Get to break down a game for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. We need a nice...
Some keys to the game. Some keys to the game. All right,
let's do this.
Let's do this.
We need a cool key sound effect right there.
Something, right?
Note to self. Put a pin in that.
Yeah. Keys to the game, man. All right, well, the offense just needs to get going, man. I mean, we need to see something right before the season ends. We need to see some kind of life. I'm tired of seeing an underperforming offense with so many stars on it. end the season with a high scoring game. Give me something to smile about. Give me a reason to feel like, okay, we might be able to turn this around in 2018.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little gift.
That's it, man. That's it. That's all. That's what it's all about. And it's about using everybody wisely, right?
Yeah.
You know, Mario mentioned Cook. We've been talking about this since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Use Cook. We brought him here. We wanted him, you know, to extend the middle of the field and make tough matchups with the linebackers. And when we use him, he does great for us. When we don't, we seem to have some of the worst games that we play.
I'll tell you what, man. All right? Okay.
Let's hear what Gruden's got to say about this.
It's hard sitting in that chair over there, isn't it? Huh? Spider White 2K Banana Xbox 360. If the Raiders put up 30 plus and get a W against the Chargers, I will drink an entire bottle of Cook's champagne on the next show.
You're on.
Nice cheap champagne.
Yeah. You know it's gonna feel good in the morning.
But I want the ice bucket and all that. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
So write that down.
Write it down.
I'm on the record.
Callers, remember this. Remember this next week.
Yeah, for real. Or don't. Some keys to the game. Hold on to the damn ball. The turnovers, I don't know that they were such an issue early in the season, but they've been a real pain in the butt the last few weeks. Keep Carr clean. I mean, if he's going to play, last thing we need is him taking another hit.
Right.
And they got a pretty beastie pass rush over there, so that's the legitimate concern.
And we said this, you know, off the air over the phone. You know, if he starts to see a lot of pressure, it don't make no sense to keep him.
No.
There's no point. What are you proving if that's the case? You know, if you can keep him clean, if he's doing all right, he doesn't get the pressure. He's, you know, you're keeping his jersey, you know, from getting muddy, getting dirty, then fine. Then let him do his thing. Mm-hmm. But as soon as that starts to happen, you got to get him out of there, man. Because we got to start looking towards what we're trying to do next season.
Absolutely. Keep up the QB pressure. We've seen it time and time again the last few weeks. Like I was saying earlier, man, I don't care who your quarterback is. If we get there right now, you're going down. Mm-hmm. And Phillip Rivers, you're going down.
Going down today, boy.
We know what happens when you get in Phillip's face. He starts yelling at teammates. He gets that red face.
Is that fire, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That tantrum.
That tantrum. Yeah, that ain't fire. That's a tantrum. And he's going to go home and spank all of his children.
Damn.
That hand's going to be
sorry,
sore.
little kids. I'm sorry, little Rivers.
So those are the keys to the game. And just, you know what? Just win, baby.
Just win, man. That's it.
Just
please.
Give us something
Please.
to go out on. There's people out there
Give us a win, man.
rooting for the L, rooting for the draft pick. You know, it's going to be a good pick either way at this point. So just give me one win. Let me finish the year. Give me a reason to pop that little popper, just chuck that confetti.
I want to drink a whole bottle of champagne.
That's it.
I'm not forgetting that,
It's like
man.
a steel trap.
I'm not going to forget that right there.
Cook's champagne.
I'm going to go buy the bottle, man. I'm going to go buy.
Actually, you know what? It doesn't have to be Cook's, but I will drink an entire bottle.
All right.
I got a champagne that I like, so I'm gonna at least make it a little easy on myself.
All right.
And they got that almond flavored local Fortino's Winery champagne.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So it's time for I See You.
I see you.
I run a little poll. I run a big poll. But
I was about to say, man.
I ran a small survey on the on pj4f.com yesterday, along with an article I posted, and it's called "You're Fired." I have 4 questions on this survey.
Is that your best Trump voice impersonation?
No, I don't have one. You will not hear that voice come out of my face.
Good.
And my Gruden isn't even that great, but
it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
You're fired. So I had 4 options on here. One, let me just read you the results. Let me just shoot straight to the results, okay? 128 responses. Pretty good. 56.3% of you said to fire Todd Downing twice. Okay. Fire him twice. 26.2% of you said to fire JDR and all the horses he rode in on and the ones he brought in after. 14.3% want the entire staff gone, including Reggie. And I think that was just JFB voting like 25 times. And 4% of you want everything to stay exactly the same.
Wow. Some ballsy people right there.
And I didn't, the option wasn't, do you think everything is going to stay exactly the same, is want everything to stay exactly the same.
It's very specific.
So actually, I'm lying, but leave everything intact. So that's what the Raiders should do. In 2018, the Raiders should, and 4% of you voted they should leave everything intact. Not that they will, or that they might, or that they could, that they should.
Right.
Yeah, I thought acid went out in the 60s.
Hey, man, they got some new stuff nowadays.
Yeah,
they got new stuff nowadays, bro.
You guys are high on disco biscuits.
Disco biscuits.
Want to do some shout outs. Obviously, shout out to Mario Tovar and crew over there at Raider Ramble. Just got a notification that they made some changes to their site, so go check that out. Justin Robbins, longtime lurker over at pj4f.com. He was lurking for 7 years, bro. 7 years, made his appearance tonight. So shout out to you, Justin.
Yeah.
Adam, most creative name on the blog, Adam, in lowercase letters. See, that's a twist. That's the twist.
That's the twist right there, man.
I've never seen Adam in lowercase. Usually in uppercase.
Hey.
Dave Chicago on Twitter, John Preck on Twitter. You guys are always interacting with me. I appreciate it. You're like one of 5 people, so much love to you. Phil Robinson III on Twitter. Bill Ina, thanks for the follow. And Guy Mazzoni, also for the interactions. You guys are big supporters over there on Twitter. Holding it down for the little blue birdie. And we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. I give a lot of love to the Pillagers, but hey, love out there in social media world as well. And Darth Vader for retweeting me right now.
Yeah.
Copyrighted Darth Vader, for real. I wanted to read this. We got a comment right now from actually a really good friend of ours, a family, I believe your cousin, Val.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I just said that. So Val, Val 3680 or May Vale 3680.
Yeah, Vale.
Yeah, May Vale.
Vale.
So she commented. She said, "This is really touching. So if I choke up, just pour some champagne on me or something, and that counts out of the bottle. If I get some on me, it counts." She says, "I was gonna call, but I'm currently rocking the baby to sleep. First, I wanted to thank the Raiders for a F season that they have given us this year, but more importantly, you guys sparked my Raider fever again. I often said that I was a default Raider fan due to everyone in my family being a fan, but since I found out about your podcast, my Raider fire is bursting bright. I can talk real football with my dad because of everything I get from the podcast. Don't quote us, Val. Okay. All right. Not always right. I appreciate that. As it is, I'm close to my father, but since listening, it's brought us even closer. You guys are amazing, and I've seen Kenny and Chase work in person, and I'm not surprised at how popular and well-received this podcast has been. Good luck, and see you next season."
Yeah.
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 And props to you, Val, because in a lot of ways, you brought us together. You were Chase's partner at the agency that we were at. I didn't even know you guys were family members at that time, and didn't even know who you were until I started sitting in on meetings, and you guys cracked me up. So you guys kind of brought me out of my show, and now here I am. I got a microphone.
There you go.
Watch out.
Got a microphone.
So much love, Val. You're definitely a very cool person. So check her out on Instagram. I don't know if she wants to follow or not, but she's cool people. I enjoy seeing the family. I haven't met the little one yet, and I need to do that. I need to get down there and visit more. But
for sure,
it's been cool, man. It's been a cool year, bro.
Yeah,
for us,
yes, definitely. Yes. Podcast wise, man, doing this thing, it's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Season B, what it may. Mm-hmm. It's always good times here, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something to smile about.
We're laughing, we're smiling.
Yeah, we'll have a good time, man.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time. And next week, when you're drinking that bottle of champagne, it's going to be even more good times.
I love the positivity. So I love you, man. I love you, bro.
I love you too, brother.
Much love to Kane. We love him.
Yeah, much love, Kane.
Always fun having. What I like about Kane is he comes in hot. I don't prep him. I don't know what he's gonna say. and we're just gonna keep it like that.
That's it, man. There's nothing to change about that, man.
No.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. So, and everyone that's come on the show this year, it's been very cool. It's been very diverse, and we hope to keep that going forward. And thanks to all the callers, thanks to all the listeners, all the lurkers, all the commenters, everybody out there on the internet world, Raider Nation. We love you too.
Yes, we do.
2018. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
So call in next week, 408-909 PJFF. And if I'm drinking champagne, let me have it.
Yeah. And drink some champagne with them, man.
Yeah. Bring in the new year. I want everybody out there to have a good time. I want you guys to be safe.
Yes.
Be safe.
Number one.
If you're drinking, don't drive. And if you're driving, don't drink. But have a good time.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, bro.
Good times.
Anyways, as always, I'm Kenny Stapler, joined every week
By your boy Chet.
We out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.